Hey, 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 welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a reading for my winner, though you will probably resonate because that's the way that it works. You're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. All right. I got my Palo Santo going again because I feel like someone needs clearing, to be honest with you. You know, if you're new to the channel, know that I like to talk about the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to see your situation from a different perception, which is really important because there's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on your core beliefs. Your core beliefs are what creates your habits and your behaviorisms. So when you understand things, you're able to shape shift your situation. So we all know that when we're, meet a karmic mate, the person feels like home. There's a lot of attraction, there's a lot of chemistry. It almost seems perfect. And then what happens is someone has issues, baggage that they've never cleared. And it's usually both parties. It's just one person really has not done any healing at all. So they have no self awareness and they're very selfish. And then the other person tends to be still stuck in their behaviorisms of how they learn to survive. Now, again, just because we're out of a relationship doesn't mean that that energy is gone. No, that energy stays with us until we integrate it and transmute it. And as I said, there's many different realities that play it at one time. So a lot of times you'll get the same karmic theme, which is a karmic loop, which is like this again. Like, what the fuck? It's the same thing, different characters, same thing. And it makes you perceive, I guess it just can't happen for me. And God says, that's impossible. And you're like, no, it's not. I'm living the reality. Look. And God says, but you're me in physical form. You're supposed to be an expression of me, which is unconditional love, which is the highest vibrational energy, which makes you a magnet for abundance. So what are you doing? It's you. I gave you free will to choose. This is how you're choosing? Like, why are you choosing this? So it's not that the universe wants to punish you. The universe is God, by the way, and God is the energy of unconditional love. We are supposed to be the highest vibration, which comes out within our character. So when you're dealing with the karmic, what are you doing? You're like, this person has shit character. They're a liar. They're a cheat. They're selfish. And God says, yeah, they are. And you're like, well, what the fuck? And and Spirit says, well, your job is to bring them to me. And you're like, I can't do that. It's a wild animal. That's what it feels like. It's a wild animal. It's like, that's not even a person. And Spirit says, well, that root chakra is. Again, it's very survival. It's very masculine. It's very fire. And when we have an imbalance, which again, for my winner, that's what we're talking about, that there's a real imbalance within this energy. Now, if you resonate and you're with a girl that has this type of energy, well, again, that's because it's possible. It's possible because we're talking about masculine and feminine energies, which is character traits. It's like masculine, like is someone that's fired, like I'm going to get things done. I'm the structure on the bones. It's fact. It's logical. It's linear. It's like, don't give me the emotional shit. I want to know the facts. Show me the money. Usually you see they're good with money. Show me the money. Let me show you the structure. And they tend to look at things, and when they're out of balance, there's a lot of addictive behavior. Sex is usually one, the root chakra. So we see an overabundance within that. So, and that's a lack of ground. The person's led by their emotions, but they're not emotionally intelligent. That's a problem. That's like having the person that is blind driving the bus. It's like you don't want to be in that bus, unless you want to go off the cliff, because they don't know what they're doing. They're being led by their blocks, by their desire. Because root chakra, what does that mean? Grew up in survival mode. So I've conditioned myself to live in fight, flight, or freeze. I need that extra cortisol in my body to feel balanced. And spirit says, well, that's out of balance. That's going to cause a lot of addictive behavior and over. So they're either one way, it's their way or no way. They're real stubborn. They're self-righteous. So obviously that first chakra is off, all the chakras are off. So I feel like someone's dealing with this type of energy, and then they're like, I'm drained, I'm drained. I'm feeling fucked up today. Yeah, because I've been dealing with this, It's like they got me up in my head. They got me emotionally fucked up. And it's funny how Spirit says, it's funny how they're not doing anything, giving you anything, but they can keep you still. That kind of pisses me off. I'm just saying, because I'm a jealous God and it's supposed to be me first, and that's through you first, because I live inside of you. So why are we here? And you're like, because I know this person has it in me. I know not has it in me, has it in them to give to me. And they do, but they dangle the carrot, and that's what you feel. And so you're like, I don't know how to deal with this. So this is what I've meditated on, because my winner did give me a bunch of questions. Is this in past life karmic mate? Is this a soulmate? Is this and what is the difference? So again, the difference is a twin flame relationship. Both parties are ready to evolve. It doesn't mean that they don't have baggage. It doesn't mean that they don't have wounds. It means that they think differently. Their approach to life is different. And neither one is 100% right, because you're handling it through survival, how you learned how to survive in childhood. But if you grew up in an imbalanced environment, which that's what the root chakra symbolizes, it's like not connected to the physical world, your ancestral karma, it means you're inheriting that. And by the way, if you have inherited it, you're inheriting 700 generations worth that hasn't been integrated. And that's why the world looks the way that it does. Where it's like, I don't got no money. It's like, I'm living in survival mode. And Spirit says, yeah, because you grew away from me. I'm your supernatural power. Is again, your psychic abilities. The higher state of consciousness allows you to create your heaven on earth, but only if you're grounded, only if you're in your passion. And look what you're doing. You're looking for the answer outside of you. That's a problem for me. And that's because you grew up in an environment that taught you to give too much of your energy, and so did this person. So it's a runner chaser dynamic, because one person learned how to deal with their problems, again, as a child, I'm talking about, through escaping through books, through logical analytical things, where the other played. The other, again, was more intuitive, psychic. Two totally different ways, but God says, I'm actually both of those. And you're supposed to be both of those. So you have a lot of imbalances, the same as this person. It's for the same reason. They're channeled out differently. That's why you're like, I don't know why this person's in my life. And Spirit says, to teach you, to grow you. And you're like, I'm not. It's creating pain. And Spirit says, well, pain makes a person learn. So it's not that I'm punishing you. I gave you free will. You have to come to the highest state of consciousness. And that's always from a place of unconditional love. So the energy, again, that's out is obviously not that. It's resentment. And that's a real root chakra like energy. So you want to know why your person acts the way that they do. It's because they're angry all the time. And that would be because other people did me wrong, is the energy that I feel like. I dated other people, I gave them my heart, and I got screwed over. So I have a license now to do this to anyone. It's like, and I don't care. But the thing is that person like can have facade like that, but that's not really who they are. But there's resentment, because so every time you're dealing with this person, they have feelings for you, but you're not feeling that they have feelings for you. If anything, you're like, I feel like the person treats me like a piece of shit, actually. And Spirit says, yeah, because there's a sense that they don't really believe in love. They believe that the same thing will happen again. They're stuck in that karmic loop, the same way that you've been stuck in a karmic loop, which is, I keep dating, again, for this was for my winner. I keep dating like sexual, like people that are addicted to sex, people that's a root chakra imbalance. Again, the ego is running the show. And so, again, and your imbalances are, again, the same, not doing that, but you're giving too much, wanting someone that can't love you to try and love you. So you're repeating your karmic theme from childhood. So this is what makes a karmic and not a twin flame. It's like, wait a minute, I feel like I'm stuck in the same thing. I am always made to feel as I'm not deserving of love, like I'm not good enough. These lower energies, again, root chakra imbalance. I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough. Shame really is shame, grief, sadness. So these are the energies that are holding. So we would know that you hold a lot of tension within your hips. And this person like doesn't like your hips. They're like a tight ass. Again, they need to learn how to go with the flow. They'll pretend that they can go with the flow, but they don't. They need a lot of alcohol and other things to be able to do that, because we can't stay in this energy. We can't. We disassociate, we fragment after a period of time, because we resentment, because life isn't working. I feel like there's something wrong with me. I feel like I'm not good enough. Keeping a person stuck in that karmic theme, and you want to know why you've attracted this person. Spirit says, like, yes, you're saying the same thing for different reason, but it's the same thing and it's caused by the same thing. It's the ancestral karma that you both inherited. So you both were not brought up in loving, supportive, nurturing environments that helped you grow, that helped you nurture. And it didn't mean that you never saw it, but was it reliable? So the root chakra and the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra, were very close together. So, and then we see real damage within that second chakra. So, and that's what you see with that, your person. You're like, I see addiction, I see sex addiction, I see like it's very overactive, and Spirit says, yeah, and yours is a little underactive. Just saying. And it's the same energy. God's in the middle saying it's the same energy. You know, it's a fail. It's a negative. It has to be on the same. So you're like, so wait a minute, I'm a nice person. That person's an asshole, and they're an asshole to me, and I deserve that because I'm a nice person. And Spirit says, you're looking for this person to give you what you're not giving yourself. And so this person is symbolizing that into your life, creating awareness. You can shapeshift the energy. There's still attraction there, because you're like, but wait a minute, I know that there's attraction, there's connection. Spirit says, yes, no one would stick around for the lesson. It is a divine connection, and I have a hand in it. It's like, would you think that you'd volunteer for this shit? No, you wouldn't volunteer for this. So I have to make it look nice. I have to, again, give it that appearance. Hey, I recognize you and feel familiar, and why can't I let this go? And what am I doing here? And Spirit says you're supposed to be learning. So you can shape shift the situation. Remember, your level of consciousness is your core beliefs that makes your habits and your behaviorisms. So what were the behaviorisms that you were dealing with? Let's take a peek. I'm going to tell you right now, it was probably avoidance. Like anytime you want to have a deep conversation, because second chakra is like, you're not dealing with someone that's emotionally intelligent. They're going to, again, avoid, because they learned that they weren't allowed to speak. Root chakra imbalance of shame. It's like, I'm not good enough, because that what was mirroring. And so again, scheming. So someone that always schemes, they're never in their heart. There's someone that's always in their head, which is the ego, and they have wounds. So they're maneuvering through all those wounds, and that's why your relationship looks the way that it does. You're like Why is that? But why can I still feel this? Because it doesn't mean that spirit doesn't want you to still learn a lesson. Until you learn that lesson, you can't integrate and then transmute that energy. And then you're just stuck with the cord. You're like, the fuck is this? And it's like, because I can still feel this person's energy. It's like, you don't want to be in a relationship, but like you're going to sit there and stalk. You're going to still keep your energy connected to me. And spirit says, well, your energy is also connected, just so that you know. I'm just, just in all fairness. Yeah, but you're like, I don't want the energy to be still. And spirit says, yeah, but you haven't integrated the lesson yet. So that's a no-go. It's sorry. It's again, there's rules. It's again, you're here to learn. And so you're like, so what do I have to do to learn? Well, obviously, you can't be in a person that's always scheming. It means that they're not coming from their truth, because it depends on what they feel. And this person has addictive behavior, so you're going to go by what they feel. It's again, they feel like having sex, and they feel like a variety. They feel like, and part of the variety has nothing to do with you, by the way, because I know that that's what you think. And that's what spirit is saying. You think that because this person inadequacy has something to do with you. And if you really knew that was a connection there, you would walk in that truth, because again, your job is to bring that person to me, which is unconditional love. And that doesn't happen until a person surrenders their ego. And people don't do that. They don't volunteer to do that. So you're looking at it like it's you, and spirit says, that's your lesson. It's like, and I'm tired of that lesson, because I'm inside of you. And it's like, I'm tired of being stuck in relationships where people treat us like shit. It's like, where it's like, you're not learning. And that's why you'll always be bound to that until you learn it. When you change the dynamic of the relationship. The fear that you have, you need to go through. You need to go through that fear to see a different outcome. That's where your breath work comes into play. That's where your tapping comes into play. That's where your affirmations come into play. That's when you make small goals and then long-term goals to keep you on your track, because there's a real root chakra imbalance of not feeling like secure. And spirit says, you're me. Anything that comes to you is a reflection of how you feeling. Buying something or taking a trip is not gonna be the answer. You're not going to be able to change it, because the change comes within. It's integration. Hey, Mose. So again, withdrawn, which is what I said. This person's not emotionally intelligent. So anytime there's you have to have a conversation, and you want to know what's going on in the relationship, they're not going to ever make you feel comfortable. And so there'll be a desire. Oh, I want that. And so because that's what you never got. And that's again your second chakra imbalance. So emotionally, I'm depleted. I'm depleted. And the spirit says, are you looking for somebody to give us passion? Because that's a fail. Just that letting you know. It's like they're not going to be able to do it forever. I need somebody to do it forever, and only you can support that. And that's where you went wrong. And that's where all your trauma bonds came from. It's like the fact that you didn't do it. And I only say that because you said a few times, every time you wrote me an email about being happy about, being the winner, that about your age. So I know that that's like, it bothers you, and you're like, but understand is that we live many, many lifetimes. It's like this, we wouldn't learn that we're not separate from God in one lifetime. It's essentially impossible. We all have spiritual blocks where we feel inadequate, not good enough, not having enough. It's again the illusions that the world shows us, the illusions that our environment tells us, that we form habits and behaviorisms to deal with that. You dealt with that because you grew up in that. That's the ancestral karma that you inherited. That is why life has looked the way that it has. Where Spirit says it doesn't need to be that way. It's again, but remember, the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. If you can imagine it, you can create it. Take some mustard seed, I make that multiply, but you got to be consistent. You never are consistent. You always try and give love outside of you. Let me do this. Let me fix this. Let me give this. It's again where everybody knows you're nice. But when you care more about being liked than being respected, that's a no-go. That's a fucking no-go. It's because Spirit says, what the hell is going on here? That person's an asshole and you're worried about being liked by them. It's like, no, you demand it. You have to, because understand, that person that's an idiot that wants to be on a low vibration, they'll go straying and doing, but they'll always come back to what's real. There's a safeness, and then you'll attract exactly what you want. And then when you attract what you want, you're going to be like, I didn't even think I could have this. I never even imagined that I could have this. And Spirit says, yeah, my plan's better than yours. And you've been holding on to this jerk. It's like, this jerk doesn't know his ass from his elbow. And you're like, come and give it. It's like that's inadequate. They feel inadequate because of that. That's why I said they don't know their ass from their elbow. And you're like, give me emotionally. They can't. Withdrawn. So it's like, but you'll always, you kept taking it like it's something that I'm doing. It's something that's, and Spirit says, that's nothing. No, it's not. You're just used to being treated that way and not asking for anything. These are root chakra imbalances. You're not here by mistake. You're here by my design. You have a destiny, and you've always had a destiny. It's like, I don't make junk. What do you think Helen Keller was? Do you think she was junk? You know, her family still gets a paycheck and a lot of money, and she's written in every book. Do you think she was junk? Do you think I made a mistake there? I don't think I did. It's like you looking at your life being like, oh, this is not really. Spirit says, I don't make junk. You put your shirt on like a pair of pants, you're going to look fucked up. It's like, try something else. It's again, this is why we live many lifetimes. I'm still trying to wear my pants like a shirt when it comes to, balancing out my checkbook. And Spirit says, that's going to be a fail. And I'm like, it's Russian roulette when I walk into the bank. What's in the bank? Let's play that game. Will there be enough? Because I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, and Spirit says, you got to learn, you got to change. Everybody has wounds. Everybody has wounds. And everybody forms behaviorisms that are in alignment with those wounds. And so the only thing that heals them is unconditional love. Person, you wouldn't stay bonded to that. It's like, and I still care about this jerk. They do all this nonsense, even though they give me anxiety, because I never know. Are you going to be here today? They constantly trigger your abandonment. And that's really what it is, where God says, we all incarnate with that abandonment. And so Spirit says, you can't abandon yourself. Remember, like me first, and that's through you first, because I'm inside of you as spirit. And when you honor that and you invest in that, you automatically are giving people boundaries. That's the second chakra. You never do that in your relationships. You come in and you're like, so what's going to go on? Let me be nice. Let me try and treat you the way I want to be treated. And let me be. And Spirit says, what are we doing here? It's like, do you know that your jar has been half empty and you're worried about having this person be treated the way you want to be treated? You want to be treated like you over, because you didn't ever got it. So you're off. You're giving too much. And this person doesn't give anything. They're a miser. They're greedy. They're selfish. Do you know what you're doing? But I feel like we have this connection. Spirit's like, and this person's gonna think you're naive. It's like, and that again, that you're building their ego even more. It's like you have to kind of, again, worry about yourself, how you're coming across. And again, the respect thing is high there. It's And that's by investing in yourself. That's by being around other people. It's again by having a love affair in your life and being like, I don't notice that you're not in my life. It's like because you don't fulfill me. My cup is full already. You get just the droplets that come out. That's why I never noticed. Oh, you're gone? I didn't even fucking know. Huh. I guess you don't add that much to my life. It's like you have to be like that when you're dealing with root chakra energy. That's like a wild animal. It's like, this is who I am. And Spirit says, do you think I brought you up in that environment that was so difficult and been in all those other relationships to be like, let me be nice more? No. Spirit says, when are you going to get mad? But don't get mad like cursing like a crazy person. Oh no, we do that classy. Again, we have a great time in life. We look good. We invest in ourselves. We fill that cup up all the way. Oh, there's nothing that pisses a narcissist off more. Nothing that will train a person more than when you're like this. Oh, is your cup empty? Mine isn't. I always, meaning like I have my shit together. I have my shit together. It's like I don't have to give to you. What did you think I was going to give you my energy? You didn't earn that energy. It's like that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with somebody that's arrogant. That's the false persona, self-righteous. These are root chakra that come from shame. So you're dealing with a wild animal. So that's why I said if you're going to be like, let me come in and like make you dinner. This person, no. And Spirit says, I give you this person because I need you to integrate some of that energy. You're a little too soft. You're a little too soft. And the world is hard. And so I don't want you to become somebody ugly. I don't want you to become. No. Sorry. My phone was ringing in my ear and said, should we pick it up? And I said, no. Okay. So, that's really like I said, the key. The key is to integrate the energy that you need to in order to transmute the energy, because you want to see a change in your environment. But Spirit says, I'm looking for a change within you. That's what I'm looking for, because I don't really like this energy. It's like you're, again, that root chakra imbalance. Like, I can take the crumbs. I can take the crumbs. Do you not have it? Here's my crumbs. Spirit says, no. That doesn't work for us. It's like, and that's why your life has looked the way that it does. It's like not because, again, you're dealing all the time with selfish. Look at this. Addiction, attachments, and that's really what it is, which will always keep you lonely. But what the spiritual thing is, why you've connected to this person, what Spirit says is you're both disassociated. You both went through trauma at a young age. So again, you learned how to survive and you detached. And detached is, I know what happened. I just don't remember everything that happened. And I don't really care. I don't have any feeling towards it. It was a long time ago. I forgave. And Spirit says, that's actually a no-go. And you're like, what are you talking about? It's a no-go. It was a long time ago. And Spirit says, you're an energy being. And as an energy being, I need you to integrate that, because if it's not, it's still there. There might be a mask, there might be a persona, there might be wasted time, there might be a talent. It's, again, you're an energy being. It means that all energy needs to be integrated to the place of unconditional love. Just because we have gone through an experience and it's over, until we see ourselves differently, we can't transcend that limitation. We cannot evolve into the highest state of consciousness. And that tends to be impossible when you're disassociated. So Spirit says, I got to get you guys back into your body somehow. So I'm going to bring this person. It's all for knowledge and wisdom, which you'll know, because again, it's through claircognizance, and everybody has claircognizance. You may say, no, I don't have that. And Spirit says, so you don't have a spirit inside of you. So when you die, your shell is just like again, and that's it. Spirit says, no, your spirit goes back to source, comes back to me, and you learn. You're always learning. Again, in this lifetime, you are this person and you are learning these lessons. In the next lifetime, you will be a different, maybe a woman. If you're a male, you might be, I don't think people evolve down to animals, but I do know that animals can evolve up to human. It's been known how the ape has evolved into man. So I do believe, again, now we're evolving into the highest state of consciousness. And when they said the end of the consciousness in 2012, they said actually the end of the world. It wasn't the end of the world. It's the end of a consciousness, that we can no longer live from this fuckery, what you're dealing with here. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing too many people living it, where it's like, I don't know. I feel like relationships aren't possible. I feel like, like it might not be. And Spirit says, don't do my job, do your job. Be like childlike. It's about your passion and filling your cup up all the way till it overflows. It's about your wisdom to be into integration. And it's about not, again, just being in your passion. When you're at the highest vibration, believe me, that you trigger that person's ego. So again, you force that person to think about you because you're psychically cutting your energy off. You grew up, again, in survival, so you are very intuitive. People can feel that because they're intuitive in what you're dealing with. Only you're intuitive more from an empath standpoint, and you're dealing with intuitiveness almost from a narcissist. Well, from a narcissist. But you grew up in that type of environment. So you said, I'm never going to be like that. Where this person grew up in that environment too and said, well, hey, it seemed to work for those people. I'm going to take on that stance to be the stronger person. So again, it's just two ways of growing up. But nevertheless, you can still change that person, believe it or not. And that doesn't mean to be with them by just standing your truth. Because a narcissist doesn't like when the mask comes off, because they have to do then self-reflection, and they don't like to do that at all. Because they don't like to do anything. They'd rather waste the time, right? Rather procrastinate. I feel like you'll come back. I don't really want to do anything because I don't really want to change. And that's why you're like, okay, like, well, get to the bottom of this. Is this person ever going to come back? And it's like, they're wasting time. They don't want to change. And which is a root chakra imbalance, which is like, I don't know. I'm kind of like attached to my fuckery here. Yeah, I like you, but I'm pretty certain with your empath energy that you'll cave. I'm pretty certain. That's why I said, you better get in your body and get out there and again, join things, do things, be interactive, cut your energy off, because what you need to show this person is, that's what you need to show them. You need to be like, you don't know me. You don't know me at all. And unapologetically and without being crass. Like I was just crass there, but it's like, it's again, meaning look good, come from the highest vibration, give yourself the love, pour yourself, because this person, again, they're wasting time, but the more that you hold back and are interactive, the more anxiety it will cause them. Because again, there's a spiritual connection there. They're just not realizing how powerful a spiritual connection is, because God says, well, I have a hand in this. This person thinks that they're going to control it the same way that you thought you were going to control it by being nice. It's like, no, this person's going to learn the hard way. Their ego is gonna come down. Their big horse is going to come down because I'll bring someone else into your life. I'll do something else for you. Trust me, right in front of this person's face, because you're not the only person that trains that person. I help you train that person because they just would be. Meaning, I'll bring you other things. I'll make something happen for you where you're really saying, I don't even know you were gone. You don't mean that much to me. It's like, and the narcissist then will be triggered by their abandonment. And then you get a different version of them. Otherwise, they're just going to be sneaky. That's who they are. It's again, and the sneakiness still is going to be there because they haven't healed. And you're always going to feel like they're sneaky too because they don't know how to communicate. So, you having a root chakra imbalance, it wouldn't be the wisest to be in a connection like this. Only someone that's really strong could deal with a wild animal like this. And that's somebody that's like, well, I'm dating a few different people and I run a company and I fly around the world. And yeah, that little bitch does whatever they want to do. But it's like I come back into town and I go, and then it's like, and that person's subservient. And so you're like, well, I don't want to be in a relationship like that. And Spirit says, no, but other people do. And I utilize those people again, because I'm going to utilize everybody to evolve, to teach a different version. So that person might say, well, I did do that. And then guess what? I did it for 5 years and it was great. But then one day I met the love of my life and I couldn't even fathom going back to that lifestyle. So, because again, we learn through being. So that's why I'm saying you just, again, tired of feeling limited with this person. And that's what they'll do. That's what the root chakra imbalance do, because a person puts too many rules, but in that they're not giving you anything. And it's just a way to control you and manipulate you while they're doing whatever the fuck they want. And that's what keeps happening to you. And that's what Spirit says you need to break. Now, just because we see all this, I still like to pull cards and be like, yeah, but what are they going to do? And how do they feel about me? Like, it's like, are they going to suffer? Like I would want to know, are you going to suffer? I mean, but I kind of have an ego, a little bit like that. It's like, I would be like, if they treat me like shit, I want to know that they're going to, like, are they ever going to care? Like, whatever. So I always like to pull a few hidden truths and then a few of other cards to see actually what they're going to do. But we have to always take in mind that the person has blocks and that their behaviorisms are going to be in alignment with that. And when always, why are you attracting that? Why? Again, I feel you leaving me behind. And that's, again, because you're already doing it. So, but Spirit says you're not going out enough. You're not connecting to other people. So I feel, again, you're like, well, you haven't given me anything anyway in so long. And I'm so tired of the disappointment. So it's like, eventually it's just, you're slow at doing it because you don't really want to do it. And that's what this person knows. And that you have to be careful, because then I don't like that energy. Because if this person's narcissist and they have connection to you because you have this cord, they can feel you leaving behind, but not really wanting to, and then wanting to come in at the last minute. Again, I lost myself for a little while. Yeah, because they have addictions. They have, like I said, it's like you said something that they didn't want, which again, you wanted to know what was going on in your connection, or you insinuated that you triggered this person, which is not hard to do, like I said, because they have a lot of blocks. And so this is what they do. They withdraw. But how did they withdraw? Again, through their addictions. It said it. So, and it's because they're disassociated, and this is the energy. So of course they lost themselves for a while. So your part thought, well, they're probably like hooking up with someone right now. It's like, I feel like they get lost in their addictions, whatever it is. It could even just be, I'm not present. I'm stuck in my own head, which is the problem with the root chakra imbalance, that the person lives more in their fantasy, in the past, in the future, scheming, trying to figure it out. They're never coming from their true self, their higher self. That can only happen in the present, in the now, when we're embodied. This person has too much trauma. And so it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings, because they're just fine. I wish I could share my good news with you. It's like this person still wants to hold back, but I feel like they are trying to make changes in their life, and things do happen. And I think that you did show them the friendship, and that's the thing that they're starting to like see. This person doesn't get into relationships for friendship. Okay. They haven't had a friendship in a relationship. Never. Okay. Like, because they come in, they get what they want, they leave here for a good time, not a long time. They have too many shadows. But I feel like you're such the empath, that you're such a true, kind, gentle, sensitive person, that you're like, again, we're really just like this person's like a shady person, and you're like, well, today I planted petunias in the backyard, and would you like some banana bread? And I'm gonna do this, and I'm going like, and just going about, and yeah, I met so and so, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and just trying to be bubbly and fun and nice. And this person is, like I said, didn't realize that you guys were like actually building a relationship, because they have a second chakra imbalance. So relationships are something difficult, because this person feels inadequate. They do all this shit because they feel inadequate. So I regret lying to you, because I feel like they really do miss that connection where, and you might be like, well, we just use a talk once in a while. But I feel like the consistency that, yeah, this person could leave for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, and pick it up where they left off. They don't have friends like that. They don't have people. They have people that want to control them, or they have people that can't stand them. Like, I mean, control, like that are obsessive with them, or don't care, like don't want to deal with them, because again, of who they are, and they know who they are. So here it is, you're trying to be friends with them, and you're genuine, and it's like they haven't had a friend, so they thought that they were like playing along with it in the beginning, but then they're like, actually enjoyed some of the conversations, and they're like now looking back and they're missing it, because again, love is that. It's like it teaches. And what they've realized is they never had a relationship with someone that could actually be their equal. I bury myself in work to forget you. Of course they do, because they love the almighty dollar. You see, they're good with that. It's again where that's where I feel like you tend to like lack. There's a imbalance there. So it's again, this person is an escapism person. They're always leaving. I knew exactly what I was doing, and they did. It's like you said, because they're led by their addictions, and they were scheming. And when they got together with you, they weren't looking for a relationship. They pretended that they were looking for a relationship. They had a connection. They weren't really ready for that connection. It took on energy of its own. And then they thought, I think, that they could get rid of it. And so let's just see what they're going to do. Whoop. I kind of just jumped out. Okay, so look at this. I've never felt love like this before. The depth of it can be inspiring, but also overwhelming. So it's like I said, it's almost like this person has never had that type of friendship, like a person that really cares. They've had lust. They've had, and so I feel like it almost like they have to like, they try to destroy the relationship, almost like, oh, you will, like, people don't wind up liking me for very long, so I'm going to like try and keep ruining the connection and keep living my way. But there's still a spiritual tie there, and that's what I was said about the psychic cord. Until you learn the lesson, you really can't break that. Yes, you can meet somebody else eventually, and then over time, that person that feeds it kind of takes that away. But don't be surprised if you attract someone that will trigger you similarly, in like not being able to communicate as much, because we continue to relive the same like things that we haven't mastered. So again, this is we have past life connections. Memories are surfacing either consciously or unconsciously. And that's what I was saying, that this is a past life karmic connection. When you had asked me, is this a twin flame connection? I said no, because this person's not willing to evolve. That's the difference. A twin flame relationship, both parties are willing to do the work. They're saying, I've done, and they've also done enough work. They've done enough work and they're willing to take it to the next level to help them evolve into the best version of themselves. So they're getting that twin, which seems like their other half, but it's not their other half. It's somebody that has gifts where you don't, and vice versa. And they've come into your life to teach you balance so that you can learn to integrate them, and vice versa. So it's one of the hardest relationships, but the passion is off the charts. Past life karmic connection, there's also a lot of passion, and there's also a lot of, but that person is not looking to evolve. That person is just coming from their level of consciousness. And it just so happens sometimes it's like during an important part of your life, or something big is going to happen in your life. So they have the potential to actually fuck that up, by coming into your life. Do they do it purposely? Not really. They don't know that they're going to mess up your thing, but they do come in because they're selfish. It's like they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about what they want, their needs. And if you're going to be caring and giving like your old self, well, then now you've inherited that karma, that keeps you stuck in a karmic thing. So again, we project our patterns onto each other, and this manifests in difficulties to see what is real and what is fear-based thinking. So I feel like this person creates a lot of fear and then does project. But then I also feel like it brings up all your wounds. So then you also project, but you're not projecting in the same evil way. You're making me feel like, where spirit says, when the relationship is like this, that's when you have to be like, you actually have to walk away, because it's like you're just getting triggered and the person is not moving. They're being self-righteous. They're trying to, because they're like, I don't really want to change, and I know that you have feelings for me. So I pretty much believe that you will become subservient to me, which is because I don't really want to change. I kind of want to have my cake and eat it too. I don't even know if I can change. And that's the real reason, because I haven't looked underneath this energy in a long time, and they wouldn't, because shame is something that gets buried. That gets something that, we can't walk around with for long periods of time, but you're going to have rage, which is where the resentment comes from. And that's just really negative energy. So the person is like so wounded. And it's like, I feel our energy, again, merging together as if it has a life force of its own. So again, this person says, we'll be together again because we are a spiritual connection. So what they're chalking the connection up is, I don't really need to change because I can still feel you there. So what happens with this person is, you do something, you state something, they get mad, they back off, they withdraw. Then what happens is they date or look around again because they are a sex addict. And then what happens is they're comparing you to other people. They miss the connection. They realize, wait a minute, this connection is a lot different than all the other connections. Wait a minute, I wasn't looking for that. Wait a minute, I'm feeling feelings that I have that are a little too deep. It's scaring the shit out of me because I've never felt like this before. I don't know whether or not it's bringing up past life memories. Almost like I feel like you're supposed to be in my life. But I feel like I lost you in another life almost. And that would be because of this fuckery that, who knows in the past life what this person did, but it would be on that root chakra level of betrayal, because this person is like depicting that type of character. So you're like, okay, so I mean, I don't want that person into my life, but it's like I said, it's really to bring to help activate this person, and it does activate because there it's a soul's connection, and that was what makes a person stick around, right? People don't stick around. And what this says is like, I'm tired of being away from you physically. I'm trying to process my fear so I can come back. So understand by you staying away makes this person surrender their ego. But does that mean that they're healed and of all their stuff? No. It's like what you have here is a past life karmic connection where this person still has that cord, is going to keep coming in and out. And every time they have a hard conversation, they again, until they integrate new ways to deal, you're not going to really be able to be in a connection with this. And I'm answering this for my winner, because my winner that said, am I going to be with this person? Am I going to not be with this person? It's like, if you want a look to be stuck in a low vibration, give, like, this person's going to give you what they feel like giving you, and they're still going to be who they are. And that's not what you want. Now, could you meet somebody else? I think that that's the lesson here, that spirit says, please, almighty, like, please get off the couch and like go out and meet, because that's what this person's banking on. They're like, you're not going to do it. You're eventually going to get tired, and you're like, whatever I give you, that you're going to accept. Why? Because that's been your life. That's what you've been doing this whole time. So why at 72 years old would you be any different? This is what this person is thinking. And for you, it's like, if you're in a connection with someone like this, people get cocky. It doesn't mean that it's true. It just means that it's their ego is big. So again, if you go out, you're going to meet somebody. This is what I feel like. You know what? If you went out, but look at this, you're going to break free, like I said. And I'm no fucking lie. And you would meet someone, and I'm telling you that, again, mutual give and take, because this person was too rebellious. Okay? You're going to find yourself. It's about finding yourself. It's about being a little bit independent, so that when a person meets you, they're meeting that version. There was a sense of when you keep meeting these people, it's like you're not like strong within yourself. And that is what conveys. That's why you keep attracting the same type of person. So you are going to do it. You are going to break free. I feel like that, because they're like, this person isn't doing shit. And what you'll see, look at this, you're going to express your free will. And what you're going to see is that there's many different options. And that is actually going to be a lot more enjoyable for you, because this person, again, that you were dealing with is like, they don't know what they want. And it's not even another person. It's like, I don't know whether I want to give up this lifestyle, because of, like, I'm an older person. Life hasn't worked out for me. I mean, they're 76 now. Like, I mean, for my winner, that person is not, but it doesn't mean that there isn't this connection. So again, I feel like, if something would have happened, the summertime is when it would have happened, I feel like. And the reason why is because that's when people go out. That's when it's that this person hasn't put in an effort. And that's because they're procrastinating. That's what it said. It's like they're sitting there wasting time. That was the word, wasting time. Wasting time, because it's like, I don't really want to be the one that comes back to you. And that's not a person that you want to be with, because it's like, you're going to choose that instead of, like, I don't want to know because I don't want to compromise. So then you would, and I'm pretty much sure that you're going to do it because you're such a nice person. That's why I'm like, no. It's like, where this is what it would be. And this is what it says. Like, this person may come back, but it's like, but if they do come back, you better, like, really be careful, because they're a liar. They'll be hiding people. It's like, I want to have my cake and eat it too. That doesn't mean, and that would be resentful, and you would then be a magnetic energy thing here, because they're not happy, and misery loves company. Wounded people wound people. So it's like, I don't really want you to go and have a good life. If I'm not, I want to be able to do what I want to do, and want you to be here, and I perceived you as that person, so they'd be a little bit angry that you're showing them a different version of yourself. So if you go out, it's not to be like, oh well, I'm going to go back to this person, because this person is wounded. You're not going to be able to manipulate them into like being different, because again, they're used to being same way, and I feel like you're not. You're gonna make your decision, and the decision is made. It's like, and it's because they, like, what you see here is you're being told by too many people. There's too many signs, there's too many things. So even though you've invested in this person and you really wanted them to change, I know that you do, and that you did that. If you go out, the universe said it would give you something. And I know that to be true. I felt that before I pulled the card, and it said it there. Because when you invest in yourself, the spirit says, what, you don't think that I knew what you wanted? Oh, that's right. You have a root chakra imbalance. So you didn't have parents that showed up for you and supported you. You didn't have a dad that supported you. Really, if we really want to look at it. So just know that spirit, which is the universe, says, well, I'm also your father. I'm God, and I'm also your father. I'm the universe, and I will support you. I will support you. But you have to have faith. Take some mustard seed and make that multiply. You don't have no faith. That's why you stay connected to this person. Spirit says, if you invest, I will bring you someone. I will bring you a friend. I will bring you, which is what you're looking for, someone that's going to be mutual, give and take, reciprocity, someone that's going to allow you to be independent, but someone that's going to be receptive. Come on, that's what you want. I don't want this. So it's scary, but it's really what's familiar to you. That spirit has, like, questioning you. All right. And so, because really at this point, you want to know how this person will, how this person will regret. They're going to regret, because it's like they'll regret, because you, not just because you're not with them, because this person has a big ego. They think that they're who they are. That's why they're toying with you. And it doesn't mean that they are. And you'll be like, but this person is an older person. It doesn't matter. A lot of times, people that didn't have their heyday moment in high school, they wind up having it much later in life. So they're like, hey, I'm getting a lot of attention now. It's like, and they want to eat it up, because, hey, I don't have that much more time on, whatever the reason. But you want this person to regret. Really, it's like, you walking away and having a good life is really how this person would, because you would look back and be like, and ran its course. It's like, and really, it was minor in my life, but don't make it your entire life. You're making it your entire life. And spirit says that's what the problem is. So I'm going to pull my closing card, which I always ask spirit, okay, well, that kind of sucks that when we want to be with somebody, and then that it's not a person, it's a karmic. But spirit says, if you learn the lesson, which we talked about, all the lessons that you needed to learn. My winner, I'm not going to say your name, just because I don't want, oh, well, no one would know that it was you. So I am going to say Gloria. But and I want to thank you also for supporting my channel, and I want to give everyone an opportunity all the time to win their shadow reading, because that's what it's about. You can change your life and get exactly what you want. Thank you, Mose. And again, so it's all about, that spirit says, faithfulness. I commit to my mind, heart, and will. I am devoted to the needs of my soul. I trust in myself, in God, and the universe. So, isn't that what I just said? I literally just said that. And Spirit says, that's right. Your faithfulness to yourself, because you have abandonment issues again. So, you have to reparent yourself because you didn't have that support. So, you have to do it yourself as an adult. And you do that by first being faithful to yourself, filling your cup up all the way, only giving what dribbles out to the people, because then they're going to, again, if they like it, they're going to give you more, and then you can give them more. You're a fair person. You're not saying, oh, give me more so I can hold back. That's not who you are. You're navigating your life that way so you don't get screwed over by people that do that. That's how you have discernment. That's a gift we all have, because we have to. Who am I dealing with? I could tell by what you're doing. You're not being transparent. You're, again, your energy. And then what happens is you do walk away and the person says, wow, that was a good person. And that's what this person said. I wish I could share my good news with you. I wish I have regrets because we had a friendship and I didn't just fuck up this connection. I fucked up the entire connection, which I never even looked at, didn't even know that existed, never even realized. And that's profound for this person. So they'll be looking for that in every single other relationship, and they probably won't find it. And that's God saying, well, the gravel, like the banger banged, it's like it's over, like you called judgment because there was nothing there. And so, again, their karma is you move on, and they will suffer by themselves. But you may say, I don't think that they suffer. They're already in resentment. Spirit says they're already suffering. It's like because of who they are. They're living by their addictions. So that doesn't land, like, you can't manifest good with that. After a while, something happens. Your health goes, other things happen, because Spirit says you can only live that way for so long. I will always come and collect my due, my dear. It's like, it doesn't matter like what your perception is. It's, again, you might not be able to see it, but believe me, I always collect my due, and that person won't live happy. If you have resentment, let me tell you, in your 70s, you have a lot of resentment. You get things like arthritis, you get like gout, you develop cancer. That energy needs to be integrated. So Spirit says, believe me, you don't want to be attached to that, because you'll be resentful over time. And really, that doesn't belong to you, because you're a good person. You're a nice person. You're a loving person. You're not being that way to yourself, though. And that was the spiritual lesson you needed to learn. Again, be faithful to you and trust in the universe, that the universe is going to support you, that is going to give to you. And that's why we always have to start in a place of faith. That Spirit says, don't expect the gift to come first. You're walking blindly. You fake it till you make it. And then understand you become what it is. And Spirit says, yes, because the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. If you can imagine it, you can create it. And the universe will always conspire to support you in everything that you need. So that means good shit too. But you gotta be there for you, because, again, the universe helps those that helps themselves. I'm going to talk to you guys soon. I hope you guys like that and learn something. All right. Bye.